Yeah, it is about time we begin to question the northern governors and the leaders at large, because it is unsafe for the southern youths, for the southern elders, if huge numbers of northern youths will just flock into the southern region of the country without any form of information, any form of notification. Some days ago, as you can see on my screen over there, nothing less than 100 northern youths were reported to have come in through the night truck to Lagos. That they said that they all came in to cut grass for the Dangote refineries. At this time, everybody is agitated and everybody seems to be apprehensive. So nobody can be trusted, because we all know how the issue of Boko Haram, became a widespread endemic, and also we know how they come in looking innocent, they come in looking unharmed. They come in with pitiful faces. What they come for is just menial jobs. But at the end of the day, we have been beaten so many times, stabbed at the back, and of course, at this time and age, the southern youths are no longer taking it any easy or funny, or they are not taking it lightly for the northern leaders, because as much as we might want to blame those northern youths, or we might want to suspect the northern youths, I think the leaders, the sultan, the northern governors, the likes of the Bala Muhammad, who said the Fulanis are the global citizens, all that. You see, these are people who ought to have given their youth good education. By extension, they ought to have given their youth and populace what we call social security. Because these guys who came into the truck, what they have come to look for in the south is economic prosperity. More or less, like they are seeking for greener pasture. If the southern governors were majorly infiltrating, I mean, if they were integrating and putting into their own youth just religious academics, what they tell them to do is go to Quranic schools. You guys should not go to acquire skills. If the governors of the south majorly, what they do is end up just sponsoring religious scholarships and all that, I'm sure the south also would have been more radicalized even than the north. However, I'm not in any way saying the southern governors are like the best in after sliced bread, but to an extent, and to be fair, the southern governors have been able to streamline and to navigate the thinking of the youth. Not that like they're the best, but you see, there are some legacies that our progenitors left in the south. Do you want to talk about the likes of M.I. Okpara, or do we want to talk about the likes of Awolowo? These are leaders who cherish education even ahead of religion. But in the north, they believe that you have to acquire your religious knowledge before you say you want to acquire any form of Western education, any form of school, qualification and all that. So for that reason, this has been the way that they tend to brainwash the people. I mean, I saw a video one time in Katsina. You need to see the setup. These young children, I think about 8 9 years, they were told to recite some verses of the Holy Book, which is fine, but it shouldn't be the top priority. These children at the age of 7 8, they ought to be introduced to vocational skills, vocational acquisition trainings, because that ought to be the priority. And the religious learnings can always be done at any goddamn time. But in a situation whereby the governors will even justify that what my people need is not education, they just want to be able to live and practice in peace their religious beliefs. I mean, these governors, they come to the national TV and they defend these things. But now that the crisis has almost swallowed the whole region in the north, whereby due to the lack of encouraging education, due to the lack of and showing that your populace are enlightened. They see the light. Because when an ignorant person, you know, when an ignorant person sort of take on religion and it takes it to the level of extremism, it becomes a chaos. Because even a man who is educated sometimes can fall into the pit of fanaticism. Now imagine a man who doesn't have the capacity to critically think, and when he's being brainwashed that when you see a man who is standing to urinate, that he has gone against the laws of Islam. These are the arguments. You cannot, as a governor, be investing in mundane, activities like religious knowledge acquisitions, and you know that your populace will eventually get to a point that they will start seeking for economic prosperity, and you expect other region and other people to be the one that will carry their weight. I think it is wrong. I think it is a total system that has been rigged, because when the southern governors, when they collect their own education funds and they channel this money into primary education, they channel it into all manners of maybe farming subsidies, health subsidies. In the north, the only thing they do is just they build a mosque. The last time I saw is, I think, in Bauchi State, if I'm not mistaken, and then in Bauchi or Yobe, a mosque was built for approximately 1.7 billion. And the video that I saw, these people were celebrating, they were jubilating. But as much as I want to blame those people, I know that the leaders are the ones that have thrown them into their dungeon of ignorance, of ignominy, because they tell them that above all, what is more important is to every human being is the knowledge he acquires from the Holy Book. We saw over 200 of them who came into the lorry at night into Lagos, and they were caught by the southern youth. They were asked those critical questions. That what happened? Because they were all laid out. They all slept on the floor right there. I think at that is this Songote, whatever the Dangote refinery is, and they were questioned that what's going on here. We have to be very careful. Everybody was agitated. The video went viral. They were questioned. They needed an answer from Dangote refinery, and to this very moment, there has never been a response. However, we have seen the northern governors trying to beg that after all, we are all citizens of the country, that nobody should be discriminated, that they cannot be sent away from their own country, that the northern person has every right to go anywhere that he wants in the country. Absolutely, that is true. But at this time of our national life, everybody is apprehended because nobody trusts anybody. Not to even talk of now that everybody is suspicious of anything not. When you hear anything not, you know that what comes from that place sometimes, what that we've been listening and hearing from the news generally has been gory and bad news. Look at what is going on in Taraba. Look at what is going on in Benue. Look at what is going on in Plateau. A Benue Tor Tiv chief gave the Fulani headers, he gave them an ultimatum. He said, it doesn't matter if you tell us that there are some Fulanis that are evil. For them, if you, who is claiming to be the good ones, if you cannot call out the bad ones amongst you, who are the monsters, because they talk like you, they dress like you, they behave like you, they speak the same language like you, definitely you should know their hiding spots, and you're not ready to expose them, you're not ready to tell us their whereabouts, then, of course, every one of you should be ready to leave if you are not ready to change your attitude and your behavior. So, at this stage, shall I blame the southern youth? Of course not. Because some of these people, before you know it, they might end up becoming kidnappers. Nobody can guarantee the agenda. If about 200 people will migrate from that north to south in a suspicious manner, they are supposed to have letters of appointment. They're supposed to see a letter, maybe immediately from the Dangote Human Resource Department, that, okay, fine, these people, we outsource for them and we called for them. But nothing has been done. But the police luckily has intervened so that we will not have a repeat of what happened in Iromi. However, let us watch this video together. Thank you.
See, Baba, they say they come from Katsina. They want to work for Dangote refinery. Kebi, Dangote refinery. Say they won't come work for Dangote refinery. So we saw them this morning. They say they come from Katsina. This is Gojileki, front of Dano, legal free zone. Kano, Katsina. Okay, you come now from Katsina. You come. Are you in Nigeria?
Yes.
Where are NIN? Where ID card? Let me see your ID card. NIN. Make I see. Wait, make I see now. Okay, this is your NIN.
Yes.
We had always looked forward to a very robust engagement with our stakeholders, for we have seen that in the last 10 years, some of our members who live bohemian lifestyles have been so affected, and there had been no succor for them all over the place. And one very frightening incident we are seeing is that everybody associates them with criminality, but the criminals are only very few of them. We have urged governments, especially the northern state governments, to take action. We had been invited 6 years ago, to make a submission of what we think can work out, but nothing had happened. So we are now very happy that the federal government, with the new livestock development plan, will at least give some kind of breathing space so that our bohemian brothers can find a way of livestock production that can be very peaceful. And we are very much happy that we are part of this. We will work hard. We have lost over 50,000 people, and we have lost over 5 million herds of livestock in the last 10 years, and there has never been any support. And unfortunately, the few who are involved in what is termed as criminality has tarnished the image of everybody. And wherever a Pulo is now seen, he is tagged as a criminal. And we suffer from the stigmatization of the media. We are the only group of people whose members, when they commit crime, it is all attributed to the whole race. I think this is a very dangerous trend, and it need to be taken care of by whoever is concerned. But we, as an association, our objective has all along been to encourage the modernization of livestock production system. We know that time has come, the land will not increase, and the population is increasing, so the continuous movement of our people across space that sometimes generate the conflicts that we are seeing, I think will have to come to an end. But it can only come to an end when government presents a viable alternative. You know, you cannot change people's culture overnight. They suffer from climate change, they suffer from, it is only our people who don't depend on government. They are not looking for boreholes. As is and now, nobody gives them anything. If they go to hospital, they pay with their own money. So I think this kind of engagement will go a long way in helping our members find peace with other communities that they live with.
I want to appreciate the representative of Magban that spoke here. The difficulty in what we are dealing with, you are talking about herders and killer herders and criminals. It's a situation where the mechanics are there and the madmen have joined them. They all dress in the same way. So if you come here and tell us that there are a few criminal elements that have joined the headers and they are spoiling the show for all of you, the model you need to first do is drive away the madmen among you. Any other story you tell us without doing it is playing to the gallery. If you have madmen among you, you know the madmen, deal with the madmen, let the Senate, the mechanics we know. The mechanics we know, in my illustration, were the original herders we knew that will come, growing up in this environment, they will come only with staff to guide the herds so that they will not spoil, destroy farms. That's the herders. In one of our meetings of Northern traditional rulers some years ago, a traditional ruler rose up and made the statement you made today, and my heart jumped. He said, you cannot change the culture of people overnight. What culture are you talking about? Is it culture of killing? What culture are you talking about? Is it the nomadic culture of moving up and down? That culture didn't have problems. That culture didn't seek to take over our land. That culture didn't seek to kill us. That culture didn't seek to destroy our farms, our livelihoods. That's not the culture we know. What we have now are criminal headers carrying assault rifles, killing our people, maiming them, raping our women and our daughters, dispossessing us of our land, and even when we harvest our crops and bring them home, they come to our homes, destroy our houses, bring out our harvests for their cows to eat. Is that the culture? No, I beg to differ. Any culture that is killing people, maiming people, taking over their livelihoods, burning their property, does not require 1 second notice. That culture must end immediately. If you come with heads, we will show you where the land is fertile, the grass is green, you will eat. But if you come right on our farm, people busy working, you are killing them. You are destroying our livelihoods, our farms. A whole year's labor is destroyed. That's an alien culture that cannot be tolerated in our environment. So for your own people, the model I say is that let the mechanics join hands and deal with the madmen. Then we will accept you. We have always done that in the decades past, where if a cow strayed and destroyed any farm, they will come quickly, settle, pay compensation, and move on. Now, in my domain, in Kwande, they have taken over more than 4 wards, and they are staying. In my domain in Way West, almost all the 15 wards have been taken over, and the people have run to around Naka, and there is kidnapping and road blockage on the way every day. That's not a culture that we can accommodate in Benue State. So, Markaban, deal with your internal issues. If you say they are madmen, that you don't know them, you know them. They dress like you. They talk like you. They carry AK-40 what? 7 like you. You can't deceive us. If they are talking like you, walking like you, carrying guns like you, killing us like you, how can you say you are not part of them? So first deal with the madmen among you and come and present yourself clean. We will accept you. We have always done. It's just that things have changed.